Right, so welcome back. I'm doing a city down video today and we're going through a bit of a heat wave at the minute, and my room is the hottest room in the house, and I've had to close all my windows because people are doing garden work and stuff, and I'm very hot. So I'm gonna try and not melt during this video, so we'll try and keep it quick. So it's official, I am a Nintendo Switch Lite owner. Here's for applause. So I grew up gaming a lot when I was younger, especially with my two older brothers, and we had all the old like retro classic games and things like that. We used to share the games, so I'd always kind of like share them with my brothers, and I think the first game I actually owned what was just for me was a PS2, which was like a big moment in my life. I've always been like a PlayStation girl. So obviously we had a lockdown at the start of April, sort of end of March, and I decided to buy myself a Switch Lite because Animal Crossing New Horizons was coming out, and I'm a big Animal Crossing fan. I sadly didn't get to play New Leaf because I couldn't afford to kind of buy lots of new consoles, and like in the game industry they often do release new consoles and then obviously put games onto the new consoles to make you buy them, and not everyone can buy new consoles all the time. So I did play Wild World on my DS. That was the only one I played while Pocket Camp. I do have the Wii, is it the Wii U? The terrible one, which I haven't played but I've heard is pretty terrible, with the amiibos in. That's just in my collection because I wanted the figures. So New Horizons came on the Switch in March and I really wanted to play it. It was something what had been hyped up for years. It was supposed to obviously come out last year and I bought my own Switch. So I just have the Switch Lite. I know a lot of people kind of think you should just buy the normal Switch. It is a bit more expensive for the normal Switch, not a lot, I guess. It's like about £100 or so, but I preferred this because I'd probably only use it in handheld mode, and also it's a lot smaller so it doesn't hurt my hands and my joints as much as like the big Switch would. I've got the turquoise one. I really wanted the coral one what was coming out. Sadly, due to the whole coronavirus thing, that got delayed and I just was worried that I wouldn't be able to get it anyway, so I went with this and it's been my saviour. It also did a deal with the New Horizons game. I have put a case on it. I've got another one of these cases what is blue and like the pinky coral, and I think it goes really nice with the turquoise, so I'm not mad. So as I have a Switch now and I also have just got a PS4 too, I'm a very lucky girl at the moment. I can finally kind of delve back into gaming because I haven't been able to for quite a couple of years now unless I was around friends or anything like that. It's been mainly mobile gaming or if I gamed on my PS2 or any old games I have here. So I'm really excited to get back into gaming, try and get a bit better at gaming because I'm a bit rusty now, and also to kind of get back into the community of like gaming, able to talk about things, get excited about things again, as a lot of my friends on Instagram and stuff are very big into gaming, and I always felt like I couldn't join in the conversations because I wasn't up to date. Unless you're talking about like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 on PS2, I was just out of it. And I thought it'd be really nice to start doing some gaming content, and I know that a lot of people like watching gaming content on YouTube. I definitely do. I've been obsessively watching them now. I'm able to buy games again. I've been watching beat 'em ups. I'll link his channel down below. He's really good at telling you kind of an honest review on games that you should or should not buy or what you might like and how they are. Obviously a lot of games getting kind of remastered and converted onto the Switch, and it doesn't always go well for all games. So I thought for my first kind of like getting back into gaming video, I would show you the games I've got so far downloaded on my Switch. I've only got one physical copy of the game, which is the New Horizons game, but they do have the Nintendo eShop, which I have bought games on, which I'm trying not to do now unless they're £5 and under, or it's like half price for a really good game, because if you don't like it you can't return it to the e-store and you can't sell it on, so it kind of like loses its value unless you sell the Switch with the games on what somebody wants. So I'm trying to just buy physical copies of games now. Obviously it's nice to have them in your collection as well. However, I have purchased quite a few games on the e-store and demos just to try and like test them out, so I thought I'd just show you and go through what games I have, and I'd love to know any recommendations of any Switch games you've been playing through lockdown, or you think that I might like. I'm kind of like quite varied in the games I like, but the ones that I tend to get drawn to, I think it's my like arty side, is the very like animated, really pretty artsy games, sort of like Animal Crossing, like Okami and stuff like that, and story games. However, I do like a variety of games. I've just purchased Monster Hunter World on my PS4. Just comment down below what you think I'd like or I should check out, and I'll be really interested because I'm excited to delve back in again. So I shall show you my physical copy of my only game that I have currently. This is what came with my Switch as a bundle deal. I mean, do I have to explain Animal Crossing New Horizons? Probably not. So I have quite a few games on Switch and I'll just go through them. So obviously New Horizons, I'm not going to go any more in depth about that because it's pretty obvious that that's a big hit. So we'll start with the two Fox games, which are just beautiful. The first is Spirit of the North, which is such a pretty game. I haven't played much of it. I think I've played about an hour of that game, and you're basically a very like cute animated fox, and you find like a spirit fox, and you just kind of go around this kind of somewhat open world. I don't know the full story because I haven't finished it yet, but it's a beautiful game. It's a very like calm game. The background music's very calming, the scenery is very beautiful. It's lots of like ice and rocks, and it's just a pretty game. I love foxes, so any games that have kind of foxes or animals in, I'm drawn to straight away, and I really want to play. So I really recommend Spirit of the North because it's beautiful. Any things that are a little bit annoying on it are the camera, and like it might just be me trying to get used to gaming again, but sometimes it gets a bit like jittery and not buggy, but it'll kind of have little moments. I don't know if that's just because a lot of games are like that on the Switch because it's not as powerful. Let me know because honestly my knowledge is not very good anymore. So the second Fox game is called The First Tree. All of these games I have actually got in the sale on the eStore as well. Got that for £2, and every time you buy from the eStore you get points like a Boots card, and I managed to get like £1 off, so it was £1 this game. And I mean, if you spend £1 for a game and you don't really like it and it's like you haven't got a physical copy of it, you're not losing out much. I mean, how much is a cup of coffee from like Starbucks or something, you know? The First Tree is another beautiful game. It is very much like Spirit of the North, but it's not as kind of 3D animation. It's a lot more artsy and it's very dreamlike. So I've only played about 2 to 3 hours of this game. Unfortunately, I didn't realise that you have to complete the kind of chapter or level before it saves. So I've got to play one of the little levels again from the start because I just exited it out. So that was my fault. But it's basically a guy telling his, I don't know if it's his friend or his partner, a dream that he's had about kind of like him growing up and his dad and him as a child. And he said in the dream that there was a fox and he was kind of following the fox's journey. So you can play it with the script on or you can have the script off, however you want to play it. I personally really like that there's like a story going along with it. The only problem with this game is because it is a dreamlike game, I understand why they've done it. You don't know what you're doing a lot of the time. There's not a lot of direction. It takes you to kind of figure it out, and that isn't for everyone. So just a pre-warning, because I know a lot of people don't like games like that, but I know why the developers and everything have done it, because it's trying to be dreamlike and you're kind of following this journey, and like in a dream you don't really know what's going on, but it's beautiful. There's all sorts of scenery from like ice and snow to forests, and I'm yet to go for the rest of the dream, but there's parts what you basically scratch up. You go to find out little parts to hit the next part of the dream, and you scratch them up, and then it's like, I don't know, a toy from his childhood which he'll then go to talk about. I really highly recommend this game, especially as I got it for like £2. If you don't like it, you're not losing out really. Kind of a fox game, kitsune, wolf game is Okami, and I have been a fangirl of Okami all my life. Well, as soon as I played the PS2 version. So I had it on PS2, I have the original copy. They have remastered it multiple times on Wii and on PS4, maybe PS3 as well, I'm not too sure. But Okami is basically you're a wolf and you're kind of a spirit magical creature. There's a whole story what shows you at the start of it. Basically it's a very story-based game, and the animation is beautiful. It's like traditional Japanese drawings. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful game. The only thing what could get irritating with it is because it is an older game, they do have that kind of like PS2 PS1 kind of voice where it's not like a voice, it's just like different tones. Like if you were to press a button and it's a noise, I think you can probably turn that off. It doesn't really annoy me because I can just put my Switch on a lower level, but just a warning because it is an old game. But it's a very story-based game, and you basically use like art and like swiping to kill enemies, save this town. So I highly recommend that. I got that on sale too. So Ori and the Blind Forest is basically a side-scroller game. It's beautiful. Ori is such a sad story. It's like heartbreaking at the start. I was like so emotional, like, oh, because I really like one of the characters, what was at the start, and I was like, this is gonna be fun playing as this character, and then I was like, oh, this is sad, without too much spoilers. Yeah, so it's just a side-scroller game, cute, and it's very simple of what you have to do. It's kind of like the Hollow Knight, which I've also bought on the PS4. It's kind of similar to that. They're very similar games. So if you like Hollow Knight, you'll probably like Ori. If you like Ori, then you'll probably like the Hollow Knight. So another game I already have on PS4 and I've completed, I've actually completed a game because I'm very bad at doing that, is Little Nightmares. I wanted to play this for so long. Luckily I was able to buy the game pretty cheap as it was pre-owned, and I've wanted Little Nightmares for ages. I've actually got an art print up there of a Little Nightmares character, which I absolutely love. I kind of wish I got the version where you got the figure with it, but obviously at the time I didn't have a PS4, so I never bought it. But it has been remastered for Switch, and I bought this because it had the second story with it. So on the PS4 version there is some DLC so that you can play as the little boy, and this year the second Little Nightmares should be coming out, and it's basically about like the little boy and the little girl. So I mainly bought it again because it was half price. It was about £5 in the sale, and I thought it'd be nice to have it on here and then to play as the extra content. So it's super creepy, and it's kind of like a puzzle game somewhat. You have to escape weird people on this boat, and you're basically trying to escape, and you have to work out kind of little puzzles and not be seen and not get caught. So it's a really fun little game. It's very creepy. The music's beautiful. There's not much more I can say apart from I love it. So Child of Light is also another game I downloaded because this was half price on the eStore, and I have not played it yet. This is why I need to stop buying games and just actually play them. But I've wanted to play Child of Light for ages. I think it was on PS4, correct me if I'm wrong. So I think this is a remastered version, and I remember seeing it and just thinking the animation and the little gal with the sword was so adorable. I think it might also be a side-scroller game. I can't remember. I need to watch the clips again. It looks like it has a really nice story, so I can't comment too much about this. I'm just kind of telling you the games I have downloaded so far in case they might interest you. So next to that game on my downloads I have Goetia? I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. It's Goetia, Goetia, and I have played about an hour of this game. I kind of got a bit stuck and it was late at night and this game's kind of creepy, so I kind of turned it off. You're basically an orb, like a spirit of this girl that has died back in like the olden days. I think it might be around 1800s, and you've basically got to go around this castle or mansion to find out what's happened, because you've just woken up from the dead as a spirit and you kind of like, what is going on? And all the family are missing from the home, so she's trying to figure out what happened to her family, and there's kind of a lot about like demonology in it. It is a fun little game. I got this for 89p. The fact you can get games for 89p outstands me, even if they're maybe not that great. But I watched a lot of the trailer and I kind of made my choice from that. And 89p, what is that really? For a whole game, that's just mad to me. But yeah, it's a very creepy, spooky, I wouldn't say horror game. It's a puzzle game, it's point and click kind of game where you kind of, a bit like on PC. So if you're a big PC gamer or you like kind of spooky mystery puzzle games, this will definitely be for you. And it's not too scary so far, it's just more creepy. So the next game is the Lego Harry Potter collection. I wish I got this as a physical copy, but the physical copy is quite expensive still. I think it's about, some places it can be about £15, other places it's 30 still. So it's like the years 1 to 7, is it? For £7, which I thought was crazy because that's a lot of content, like a lot of gameplay for £7. And I have played about 3 to 4 hours, maybe more of it. The only problem is that I wish games had like an autosave, or you could just save when you wanted, because I find like life's quite busy for a lot of people now, whereas back in the day you could kind of play for a long time. But if I just want to play in the afternoon or something like that, or before I've got to go somewhere, it's a bit annoying that you can't save where you've finished. You can save where you've left off if you're on just general like out of story mode play, so if you're just like walking around and collecting things or practicing your spells. But if you're in the story mode, unless you've finished like the chapter, and I just don't know how long the chapters are, especially if you keep getting stuck or anything, you can't save, so you have to start the whole chapter again. That's with a couple games on here. It just annoys me because I don't have like 5 hours sometimes to sit down and really like crack on with the story. I wish I did, that'd be great. That's my only issue with that game. That's kind of why I haven't picked it up lately, because I just haven't really felt like having the time to sit down and really play that much of it. Sometimes I just want to do a bit and log off. Maybe I've just got a short attention span, I don't know. But yeah, so far I love the Lego Harry Potter games. They're great. I love Harry Potter, as you know. It's very reminiscent of the old like PC Lego games where they don't really talk and they just make kind of like grunty and like noises. So it's very different to some of the other Lego games where I think they've got more of a dialogue, but it's fun. So if like, it's great for kids, it's great for adult. If you're a Harry Potter fan, or even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, it's a very fun game, and I'm gonna find some more time to crack on with it because I think I'm in year 2 or 3 now. So I'll go through all my demos now. Mr. Driller, Drilland, and if anybody had a Dreamcast or ever played Dreamcast, like I feel like Dreamcast just wasn't that big compared to like the PS1 and other consoles. I love the Dreamcast, I really did. To play Mr. Driller on Dreamcast, and I loved it. It was so much fun. I really loved the animation as well. It's very like a Japanese kind of colourful animation. I've just downloaded the demo because it's $15.99 at the minute, and I feel like it might go down in price. I'd rather buy it physical if it's £15, if there is a physical copy. It could be eShop only, I'm not too sure yet. But yeah, it's basically just a fun little kind of puzzle game where on the original you used to have your drill, Mr. Driller, and you just drill down and get however many blocks and not get crushed. So I'm really excited to see what this new kind of version's going to be like. I think they might have had Mr. Driller on other consoles, but I just never played them. Let me know if you have played them on other consoles or if you did on Dreamcast. Demo is free to download, so if you want to play Mr. Driller and see if you want to get the full game, then highly recommend doing that. 2 other demos I have on my console are Violet and Disaster Report 4. So Violet I played for like maybe 5 minutes because I got stuck like literally at the start. I don't know if it's because I'm just so bad at gaming now, but I really like the art style. I will go back to it and try and continue with it, but I was stuck in like a cage and you had to like swim back and forth, but I can't say too much on that. So it was really cheap. I think it was about 89p to actually buy. Downloaded the demo first in case it wasn't for me, so I will give it another go, but let me know if you try it. I also got the demo of Disaster Report 4. I didn't realise this was like a thing. Like the logo looks very similar, so maybe I have seen this before, but Disaster Report is basically you're in Japan. Well, for this version anyway that I know of, is that you're in Japan and you get to pick your character, which is really great. I like the customization you could do with hair, if you're female, male, your clothes and everything. And there's been a disaster, and this time it was an earthquake, and it's kind of like a survival game. I obviously only got the demo, so I didn't get too far. I feel like I kept trying to see if I could go further in the demo because I couldn't seem to exit out of like the first block that you're in after the little story trailer. So I think that's where the demo ends there. But yeah, it seemed really good. It's just very expensive. It is about £40 to £50. I'd recommend downloading the demo if it interests you. It does seem like a good game. If it was cheaper, I probably would buy it and play it. Look on YouTube to see if there's any gameplay of it, which I might do if I do buy it probably, and it's like £20. I probably won't pay 40 to 50 for this game. So along with demos and also Pokemon games, I really want to get Sword and Shield, predominantly Sword. However, they're expensive. Nintendo games, why are you so expensive? Especially Pokemon games. But so far for demos of Pokemon, I have Pokemon Let's Go, and this includes the Pikachu and the Eevee one, and I think you just get to pick which one you want to do when you do the demo. I wasn't overly impressed with this, but I think that's because they just wanted to make the demo not like, and so you didn't like have much gameplay in it. But I got to play in the demo was kind of like talking to some characters, and then there's like a little maze thing you go through where you can catch Pokemon, which was a little bit repetitive, and I was trying to avoid like the same Pokemon that kept popping up, and it got a bit irritating. But obviously it was just a demo. I think that might just be the start of the game, and then afterwards it's a bit more of like a free world. I'll have to look into it. I don't know whether I'll buy this game personally, maybe if it goes down in price, but I think Pokemon Sword would probably be what I'd aim to go for if I'm going to spend a full amount on a Pokemon game. Along with that, I downloaded the demo for the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, a long name, and I really like this game. I think this game probably gets a lot of stick from people saying it's repetitive. It was originally an old school DS game, I think, so I can see why people don't like this game, but I actually quite liked it. I really love the art style. The art style was beautiful. It was very like hand drawn. It reminded me of Okami, the kind of texture and the colouring. You live in your little house with either Eevee, I got Eevee, or whatever Pokemon you've been put with, and then you just go out saving Pokemon. It was very sweet, it's very cute, and it just reminded me of like Game Boy games and stuff like that. So I did like that one. I think if that gone down in price, I probably would download that one. So the last Pokemon game I actually downloaded was the Pokemon Cafe Mix, and it is a puzzle game. It's a mobile game, but it's also available on Switch, and it's free to play. But so far I really like it. The animation's so cute. I love Snubbull in it, so adorable. I have a plushie of Snubbull, and yeah, you basically own a cafe, but it's only Pokemon what are helping you out, and you have all the different Pokemons. You build friendships with them, and as you build more friendships with the Pokemon, they then become part of your staff of the cafe team, and it's just like a little puzzle game. It reminds me a lot of Disney Tsum Tsum, of how you kind of like join characters together, but there's also kind of other elements in it that make it a bit harder. So if you do get stuck and you're trying to retry one of the little puzzles, you do have to wait like maybe 14 minutes or something till you get another heart so you can play. It's a mobile game, it's to be expected. I highly recommend it, it's free. And that is it. That is all the games I have so far on my Nintendo Switch, and I'm pretty happy with what I've got so far. I have a big wish list. I've been saving so many in my phone and on my e-store of games that I want to buy. I'd really want to play Summer in Mara because it looks beautiful. It's everything ticked off for what I usually like. However, I've had some bad reviews, so I'm a bit worried about that. So yeah, I just thought it'd be a fun little video to try and get myself into some more gaming content and just to have more fun in gaming and kind of have a bit more of a community of talking about gaming, because I've really missed it. It's been a while. If you like this video and you also like PS4 and you play PS4 games, give this video a like and I'll do a video on the PS4 games I have so far. So thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been really fun talking about games and stuff again with you, and I shall see you again next time. Bye bye.